I just got done watching a Minecraft movie with a fellow YouTuber, but I can't tell you his name. I don't know who he could be. Who knows? But we watched it, and then after that, we went into an Xbox party chat, and we discussed for about 2 hours, 3 hours, I forgot. So now I think I'm allowed to publicly voice my opinion. Do not worry, this will have no spoilers in it. No spoilerto. Okay, that's not a word, but you know what I mean. This will have no spoilers in it. But we are going to categorize this review in 2 segments. We're going to categorize it first as if this was a movie that would be fun to watch with the boys, or if this is a movie fun just in general, like fun to laugh at. I'm not going to look at it for this first part, not if it was a good motion picture, but if it was just fun and stupid. And then the second part will be actually critically analyzing it like an actual reviewer, because I do know how to review movies. That's shocking, I know. So, starting off, if it was fun. Now, personally, I don't have any footage, sadly, because I didn't want to go to jail. Because I don't want to, or dox myself. I don't want to dox myself by showing footage of my theater. But basically, when we watched it, the crowd reactions were beautiful. I'll just flat out say it here. As a film to watch with your friends or just to laugh at, with a crowd of people, with multiple people, not just by yourself. If you're watching it by yourself, you should go with somebody. It's very good, because it's just funny to laugh at and a good jolly time, if I ever will say so myself. Because it's mainly fun to laugh at. The part where he said chicken jockey, sorry, I can't say it correctly, but people were just clapping. It was insane, screaming, the whistle. I can't do the loud whistling, but there was whistling, all the good stuff that you would expect. Very beautiful, if I ever do say so myself. It was quite an experience to remember. So that means you should watch it definitely while people are still wanting to watch it. By that I mean like soon, while the theaters are hot. You know, because look, I'm just gonna say this flat out too. If you're wanting to watch the movie for some kind of cinematic masterpiece or comedic masterpiece, you're not going to get that, but you are going to get a good experience with just laughing at it, because obviously, I don't think we have to say this, nobody's going to take this film quite seriously, but it's very fun to laugh at it. So how do I describe it? It's very hard to say this without any actual spoilers, but there are a few segments that are quite funny, but see, the humor comes from obviously the parts that they were obviously trying to either overdo the funniness, and thus it requires an ironic taste of humor to say. It's quite ironic that this is funny because it's so bad it's good. CGI was quite good too. That I know that was a complaint with the first trailer, but I think we all already have that figured out that CGI is going to be decent. But if you're like a 10-year-old and you're just wanting a good old chuckle, this is it. Because, you know, that's the target demographic. It's not wanting people... It's not really meant for, you know, certain individuals. And it has a good amount of references. Not compared to the FNAF movie, though. The references compared to the FNAF movie, not as many as that. Sadly. I wish there were more. Or, you know, just some of that. But as it goes as a Minecraft movie, not the definitive Minecraft movie. What is this doing here? I don't know why that is there, but yeah, since it's called a Minecraft movie, that doesn't mean it's the Minecraft movie, because that's specifically specified. But yeah, for what it is, if it was the Minecraft movie, if this was the definitive edition, to say, this would not be that good, because I will say this might lean into spoiler territory, I don't know. But it does not lean towards the Minecraft part of, let's say, survival or obviously they couldn't have been creative. Oh yeah, also the movie takes place in Bedrock, or Java, I should mention that. Okay, I can't spoil anymore, but you'll know it's in Java. I'm just gonna say that, alright? Yeah, what was I'm just doing a little tangent. Yeah, but some parts, I don't know what I was talking about, I can't lie, but, this is an unhinged review, if you were to call it. But yeah, some part, oh yeah, the Minecraft, if it was like a Minecraft, like, see, because when we play Minecraft, obviously, you want, even like, what I'm doing now, like, you're just wandering around, or building, you know, like, the creativity is what I'm trying to say. They were yapping, obviously, this isn't the trailer, this is no spoiler, but they were yapping about creativity and such. Yet, Well, this isn't a spoiler because it never happens, so technically it's not a spoiler. It's just confirming stuff. There's no sort of like any real Minecraft stuff. Like you don't see relatable stuff. Like let's say Steve goes into a cave for his first night, where he builds his first. It shows his first house, but it's in a, let's say, a short form TikTok brain rot level of showing. It's very short form, not expanded out or really thought upon. It's just like a little clip. But everything, there is a segment in the movie where it explains a lot of stuff, and I would have much preferred to see that segment as the whole movie itself, because it has the exploration aspect to it. Like survival. Obviously, if they're gonna do a movie, they're gonna do it in survival. So I think it would have been cooler if, like, I don't know, if they actually, like, if we saw Steve learning, the growth of a young man, story, that kind of stuff, like learning your surroundings, a survival movie to say he's surviving, but it's also really stupid and goofy. It lacked some of that, and again, that's not a spoiler because it never happened. So it never happened. But I don't know how to do these unhinged reviews. I didn't write a script or anything, so if anyone leaves if anyone sees this, leave a bad comment. I don't care, brother. But okay, we were getting a little bit too much into that wasn't into the critical part. But okay, well, that'll be the end part of my review for if it was fun. I would say, look, it was fun. The movie was quite fun. If you have friends to see it with and just to laugh at it, that's quite enjoyable. And that's all I can say about that. Now let's look at it from the perspective of a critic. Now, critically, when I say critic, I'm talking about somebody who doesn't know anything about Minecraft. And obviously, this is a video game movie, so it's gonna not make any sense to normal people. But that is also a problem with a lot of video game movies, because it is only intended for one certain audience. And now, I'm not saying you need to make your movie diverse on purpose, or it has to be, like, appealing to every single human being on the earth for marketing reasons, but I feel like that's what the Minecraft movie is trying to be, but we're not going to get into that. We can't get into that concept. That's a whole different thing. But, and I'll see the ranting. My brain's cooked. But what I'm saying is, if you have a movie that's generally a good motion picture, to say, no matter what it's based off of, it's gonna succeed. That would be like making a movie based off of a book, some really popular book or something, right? And not really explaining half of it because, they should have already read the book. Obviously, that's different with video games, because video games are much more easier to pick up for books, especially for the low attention span individuals. No hate for those individuals. They're half of my audience. W people, I love you. Mwah. But, was that a cat? I don't know, but yeah, basically, it's like that. If you want a good film, you must have, obviously, you need to have, what do you call it? I don't know. I just woke up, bros. The huzz. I'm sorry, bro. I woke up like 10 minutes ago, and I just had this on my mind. I wanted to record myself ranting. But yeah, to have a good motion picture, I'm going to be using these smart technical words that seem smart. For which I believe we must have, obviously, a plot that's cohesive, things add together, no plot holes, unless we're going to intend for a sequel. Which, I'll say this too, there's going to be a sequel for the Minecraft movie. They teased it. I ain't saying nothing else. It's kind of a bummer, I can't lie. It's not The Wither. Again, I would say this is a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler if it never happened, right? So, no Wither, which sucks. And there's a lack of, actually, when I think about it, no, we'll get into this later, but basically for a movie, we all know what we need to have for like an actual good movie. Even looking at these Sonic movies, for an example, as films themselves, they work as films, despite the video games. And I think that's because most of the Sonic movies, right, they weren't based 100% off of the game, right? They were in the real world. But for something like Minecraft, they tried the real world stuff, and it kind of, I don't know. My favorite character was the garbage man, Jason Momoa. W character. He's there's also a lot of suspicious moments too, and all that. But yeah, this video have no editing too, because I might be Sigma. I might be the Sigma. The Sigma of the stars! How long has it been nighttime? Oh yeah, that's another thing. In the movie, they have a lot of references. Oh, okay. Not a lot of references, but a few. Like Jack Black says that, oh, daytime only lasts for like 20 minutes. Yo, that's a reference. And that's the only reference I can really think of. And they also talk about the Woodland Mansion and all of that stuff. I'm again, no spoilers territory, but alright, stop getting sidetracked, bro. Alright. So basically, as a movie, right? The plot, what was that? That was a polar bear. As a actual movie, the plot doesn't make much sense. I can't lie. What is that? Oh, that's a cow. Dude, these animals be scaring me. But yeah, the plot doesn't make sense. The villain part, because obviously, you know, villains, it seemed quite forced. Like, it's basically Minecraft Legends, the movie. For the sole fact, it was also, I know this is weird, but it was very linear, too. Predictable, to say, as a movie. A very linear experience. Because, especially with Minecraft, because, okay, yeah, I don't know, okay, this is all wacky. I'll get in a different section. Nobody's even gonna make it this far, but basically, I just want to say what I want to say, right? I already said this too, but look, Minecraft needs to feel like an adventure. It needs to feel like The Hobbit, but for shorter attention spans. Essentially, that's all you had to accomplish. It's The Hobbit, but for shorter attention spans to make the whole thing animated, have some good voice acting, and maybe some corny lines. Yeah, some corny lines. That would work, obviously, but that's all essentially they had to do. Is a good adventure story where at the end they killed a dragon, but no, they didn't do that. It really did, as my fellow comrade said, who I watched the movie with, it truly felt like a movie that had Jack Black in the Minecraft world, but it did not feel like I was it did not feel like I was watching a Minecraft movie, you know what I mean? Like, there was no progression, because in Minecraft we have a sense of progression, obviously, of sorts, and there was none of that, and I get why they had to make it as mainstream as humanly possible to make the most revenue, because that's how it works. No complaints with that. I mean, that's the system. Literally, they want money, they're gonna get money, right? So, yeah, they couldn't risk nothing. That's fine. Yeah, that's what I expected. Coming with low expectations. But yeah, critically, it's not the best. It's quite bad, actually. For a video game movie, though, I'd much rather watch a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie. I'd rather watch that than, let's say, like Doom, the Doom movie. That was actual garbage. It was awesome. What am I talking about? But you know what I mean. It wasn't the best. It was actually really bad. I can't even hide it. It was a bad movie. But yeah, the movie itself lacks threat. You know, like let's take for example, even The Hobbit. That's probably not fair to compare a Minecraft movie to The Hobbit, but you know, basically in The Hobbit, there was a sense the villains, the baddies, yeah, a real sense of like eagerness, like you know, like they're actually bad. You know what I mean, bro? Some of that, but like it felt like they weren't forced in because they were there for a reason, for this epic fantasy tale to say. But in the Minecraft movie, I'm gonna call it the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie. The Minecraft movie just rolls off the tongue better, alright? It feels as if the villains were kind of just there, you know, like, how do I explain it? It feels like they had a plot, right, and then they just had to have bad guys in the movie. Because, see, I think the movie could have worked better if, it wouldn't make, or no, it could work better, like, it would work better if there was not one main bad guy, but let's say it was just Jack Black Steve just exploring, and the bad guys were the world, essentially, like all the monsters, and then the Ender Dragon. But we only find out, or like it would be cool. Yeah, I'll make a own plot synopsis. It would have been cooler, right? If we were already in this established world, I guess you could say, created by a mystical being, someone who nobody knows, which would be like the actual god of the world, the actual Steve. And then we have Steve over here who's like, bruh. But basically, what I'm saying is I think it could work better if it was like, how do I explain this? I'm trying to think of an own plot synopsis right off of my head, but it would be cool, right? If basically Steve hears about this legend of a dragon, and he tries to go find out what the skivity's happening. That was corny. I shouldn't have said that. But he's trying to find out what that mythical tale about the dragon is, and then antics ensue upon that, and he meets friends along the way. Essentially, just Lord of the Rings. Like, you have this goal, we this very long area we gotta go. We go to it, we make friends along the way. It's not about the journey, or it's not about the location, like the final destination. It's about the friends we made along the way, unironically, stuff like that. Right? We meet wacky, wonky characters or such. Or it could have just worked, if Steve, like if it was like Steve, right? And he did get transported into the Minecraft world of the isekai it like they did the actual movie. And then he just had no idea what was happening. And then he had to figure everything out, you know? And then we made friends along the way, and then, let's say midway through, like in the beginning of the movie, the bad guys could be like the zombies, the skeletons, the drowns, you know, all that stuff. And there could be a little compilation of him just going through biomes and stuff, trying to figure out stuff, making a lot of relatable Minecraft feel, you know, like, oh, I've been stuck in this biome for 10 hours, bro. Can I get out? Like something, you know, that relatable stuff that we all of us Minecraftians have it can feel relatable to. I know this has something to do with the critical part, but I'm just wanting to talk to. The yapping never stops, as I say. I never say that, but you know what I mean. Oh, my throat. Sorry for that too. I'm a little sick. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I'm a little sick. Oh, I got sick after the Minecraft movie, out of all things. But basically, either that or yeah, just like in a sense of exploration of sorts, I think could benefit the Minecraft movie because there was no exploration. Because it was all, again, that's what I'm saying, it's linear. It felt like I was playing a linear video game that had no creativity to it. It was like, you know, like there was no sense of exploration because we already knew where we were going to go. And, okay, this is a plot spoiler, alright? A tad bit, but basically, or no, it's not. I'm not gonna make it spoiler. Okay. So basically, the whole gang. Okay, 3 party members are together, right? I'm not gonna say who, but 3 party members are together, and they have to go to a destination. Now, this destination is quite far. But then they just arrive at it about 20 minutes later, and they don't really talk about it. They're just like, "Oh, we gotta go." And then some bad stuff happens, and oh, we're here all of a sudden. It's like they could have had a sense of adventure in that part, you know, like while they were traveling. You know, I'm not saying make the whole movie just about traveling, obviously, like just for that. Actually, no, that could have worked. Okay, basically the place that they had to go to at the end, or like just there was this goal that seemed like it was going to be most of the movie, right? It was going to be most of the movie's goal, but then they kind of just bypassed it. It's like that was going to be the movie, right? But then they just bypassed it, and then they just think of something else. They had a buttload of ideas, they couldn't put it all in one thing, so they just crammed it all together, is essentially what this movie is. That doesn't necessarily mean it's horrible, but doesn't mean it's the peak, pinnacle, abomination creation. And I will say this, like, if Jack Black, oh my, oh, I thought I was running that fast. If Jack Black was not in the movie would have shucked. That's a fact. Debate me on that. The movie would be bad. Like, it would be non-watchable. Like, it would be like, no, I would not watch it bad. And I watch a lot of stuff, a lot of garbage, to say the least. So, that's what I think about that. But the plot, what I think they should have done is, I think they should have stuck in with the plot of, let's say, I don't know, in general, right? Let's say they took the Minecraft story mode approach, where this was already an established world, it existed in such nature as that. Let's say it was like that, right? Alright, I'm gonna get some spruce and some spruce here. Let's say it was like a party of 4 people, right? That would be well enough for it, right? So let's say there was a party of 4 people, right? I'm gonna turn the volume down too. Hold on. Alright. And they go to some weird, wacky wizard, That was a crazy sentence, a weird, wacky wizard. Let's say they go to a weird mystical being, though, right? And then they hear a legend of the end. You know, they hear about it, and then they're like, oh, we should go on that adventure. And then on their adventure, they meet some weird, basically just the Hobbit, bro. Like that's all they had to do, just an adventure. It needed to feel like a real adventure that mattered, you know, man. And I think that could have worked. They could have cooked with that. Like if it was like we have this little party and we have to go find the dragon, basically like a Dungeons and Dragons esque theme, I guess you could say. Like when it comes to exploration, not in the other ways, obviously, because that wouldn't make any sense. But then again, Minecraft is kind of just like a medieval game when you think about it. Like we have even the villages, they have golems, they have blacksmiths. They're in the Iron Age essentially. This is a technically speaking, if we want to get technical with it, this is kind of a medieval game, right? Let's not think less about such an idea. And also, that's a big thing. Like, I don't know. I think it could have worked as a dark fantasy medieval themed film, but that would only appeal to a certain audience. It would appeal to me, but let's look at target audience: 7-year-old, low attention span. Not really diverse when it comes to the knowledge of how a film creation works. Someone of such nature, they wouldn't care about that, you know, because they're little Timmy. Little Timmy doesn't care about that. He just wants to have a good old time, which is acceptable too. You can't get mad at that, because that's what they like. That's what the kids like. The little lads. Gotta respect the youth of today, if you will. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can make this even. But like, and I will say this is another thing. The movie starts out at the end game to say, like, it literally starts out at the end game of Steve's adventure, and that's where I think the main problem consists. That it starts at the very end, essentially. And then there's a plot that's just a Minecraft Legends plot. I'm not okay. That's not a spoiler. That it's literally just a Minecraft Legends plot. I'm not gonna go into detail of that, but that's what it is. I'm not trying to be funny. And it sounds like I'm pooping on the movie, and I am a little bit. But this is from a critical perspective, and this is from. All right, okay. Here's it. This is from a perspective of like a parent who has no idea, or not a parent, a critic, like an actual critic. He's gonna be like, first off, why is all this stuff happening? I have no idea what an elytra is. You're just pulling all this stuff out for plot device material, which some of it was. Let's not pretend like it's not. It wasn't. But that's what they be thinking, and that's I think that should be a thing in most movies of sorts, video game movies, just for fan service, right? Because like when it comes to video game movies, though, right? I think it should have a very good plot, right? Obviously, a very good plot, but it should also. We don't want a movie that's for everybody. If that make like. They're not going to do that because they want to make as much finances as possible, which is very reasonable. But you know what I mean? Like, a movie for the gamers. By the gamers, for the gamers. If that makes sense, you know? Like, you don't... Let's say they made a... I don't know, let's take... Yeah, unironically, right? Let's take, the Fallout show, for example, right? That show worked. It worked for fans of Fallout. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I played Fallout 4, Fallout 3, and a few of them. I've completed them a few times, but I'm not a fan, I wouldn't say. It's more of a phase. I play them for... I like, every once a year, I play one of the games for, like, 100 hours over the course of a week, and then I stop. I watch a few lore videos and stuff, but basically, I wouldn't say I'm a... Whenever the show came out, I wasn't an intense fan. That's what I'm saying. So, I came in with low expectations, except then I realized Todd Howard. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, basically, that show worked because it had very good references to the actual video game, but it also worked for casual audiences, which is a combination I think most films should have, because that makes the most sense, right? But you also need to keep your creative integrity too, because there's a lot of movies that are just way too corporate for their own good, to say, you know. And that's not a good thing. But it also, again, it's all about the money in the end, right? That's the only reason why they're doing this. And that's why I think it works better with movies that are made by companies that are big, but they're not as big as Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers they can shit out like Skippity Toilet in the movie or something. They can do anything of that nature, you know. But like, if it's like a multi-million, like something just not as big as Brothers, if that makes sense. So something smaller, but not like indie small. What is that? What is that? Wait, what? Doormat. Yeah, not indie small or nothing, but it's just casual. You know, like maybe just like a few thousand. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I can't lie, but yeah, that's basically what I think on that aspect and major complaints. I'm trying to think. It's just really, it could have worked as a dark fantasy movie is what I'm saying. That's what I think it should have been. Because Minecraft, I already said this, but Minecraft, look, what you do, you hop into this world, this unknown world, with an adventure waiting for you, which you don't even know what it's going to be, because obviously there's no goal. You just figure it out, and you do stuff. What else do you? Yeah, you come across villages. You upgrade armor. You make swords. You get bow and arrows, crossbows. As protection, there's enchantments. There's literal dungeons. Now there's actual dungeons. Then you go to you basically open a gate to oblivion. For those who know, you do all that. You go to Nether Fortress. It's very what is it? Just nerdy themed, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons themed. No complaint with that, obviously, but that's what the game, a lot of it is. And I think, I think unironically, right? A Terraria movie could work, right? As a PG-13 movie, which I know Terraria is dead now, right? Like relevancy is dead, but it could work very good as a dark fantasy thing too, because like it would be really cool to see like the Skeletor, or just any of the giant spot. You couldn't do it in one movie; it'd probably have to be like a 3-part series, but it would be cool to see a Terraria movie. Like I don't know, I might be tripping on that fact, but there's a lot of lore, even compared to like Minecraft. They could like. The way they would make a Terraria movie is the exact same way they would want to make a Minecraft movie. Essentially, it's just like exploration, you know. Like I don't know. They could make up a plot, anything. Like I don't know, man. Like a lot of problems with such. And also, sorry to burst your bubble. If anyone's watching this too, please hit that subscribe button and comment down below anything you want to see. I'm fine about anything. I just wanted to get this off my chest. Look how beautiful this is. Trying to think of something. Oh yeah, critically. Alright, here's the final ratings, right? I give Minecraft as a fun, goofy movie, I give that like a 7 out of 10, right? When I say that, I'm talking about you were hanging out with your friends, laughing at it, and making fun of it the entire time, taking nothing serious. Now, as a movie critic perspective, it's probably about a 3 out of 10. A lot better than other films. But that's my based opinion on it, because it wasn't, as a film, obviously it wasn't good, right? Let's not pretend that it was going to be the holy grail of cinema. But it would be quite funny if Jack Black got an award. He carried the whole movie. Him and Jason Momoa, and that's because they're the most two skilled actors in the whole thing. That's one thing. They didn't need the two kids and that other woman. Well, basically, I know they kind of had to have another. It would have been weird if it was just, from a marketing perspective, it would have been bad if it was only two white men. Right, okay, now we're getting too political, but you know what I mean, just like, marketing-wise, it wouldn't attract as many people, thus not making the gross income that they would want. So it makes sense why they added some things. I'm not saying the movie's woke, it's not woke or nothing like that. Okay, wait, no, we're getting too political with this, but you know the idea. They just had to make it as marketable as possible, is what I'm saying, and that's what we all expected. It's Warner Brothers too, so honest to God, what do you expect? But It's Warner Brothers. So I'm trying to think of a little bit more things to think of, but I can't really think of much more things to think of. Without spoiling it, of course. If we were doing spoilers, I could tell you a lot. But I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna do a part. I'm gonna do a section 1, section 2, and section 3, or act 1, act 2, and act 3 little thing. Then we'll wrap this whole unscripted mess up. So in act 1, I'm trying to get my bearings. Started off pretty strong. We had the Minecraft. We had a. Okay. This might lean into a little bit of spoilers, but not much. In act 1, we had a decent little montage, right? Of displaying stuff. That's all I say. And I think that little montage should have been the whole movie. Except on his way, Steve would have met new people. Instead, so because he couldn't have it, obviously a whole solo thing. He should have met new individuals and yapped to them, and all that. I think that could have worked as just like all that. But and then we get a compilation of all our main characters, which kind of does actually smush together. I can't lie on that fact. It all smushes together. And it's very hard because most of the characters, you don't really care about, man. I can't lie. And when I say that, I mean like everyone except Jason Momoa and the other woman and the 2 kids. I'm gonna call them kids. That one woman is like a kid, bro. You can't fake that. I mean, I know she's not a kid, but you know what I mean. She looks like a kid, so she's a kid to me. Okay, that sounds weird, but we got a compilation of those people doing their things and how they all get together. They all get together eventually. They come to the overworld, and then wacky stuff happens. It's kind of relatable when it comes to your first night being wacky. No, not really, because they build a... Oh yeah, here's another thing. They didn't build. No, like, they barely showed building. That was kind of just an afterthought. Like, again, there was no mining and there was no craft. There was a little bit of crafting. That was like a little bit. But I don't know, man. Like, that wasn't... it seemed like they were going more for a generic plot than actually making a Minecraft movie, to say. I would have preferred a buttload of fan service. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know. That's not much I just realized, though. Yeah, like, there's mentions of stuff that's in Minecraft. Like, a little bit of mentions of stuff that's being mentioned. But not an extreme amount of stuff that's being mentioned, like... They talk about crafting. They talk about mining. They don't even mine. I just realized that. They don't mine. But they talk about crafting. They talk about destroying and building blocks. And then that's about it. Like they talk about it for like a little, like not even 10 minutes, brother. And then like that, they never really speak of it again. It is more or less just a generic goofy out plot. I think it would have been cool if because there's one kid in it basically who's like the Albert Einstein. He likes to innovate stuff, right? And he likes to be creative and all of that good stuff, which is good. That fits the theme. It would have been cool if he actually did something. He did do something, but it was very like just there in your face. It wasn't really, I don't know how to explain it. It just wasn't really it's very hard to explain. You'll just have to see the film for thyself. I cannot really explain it that well. I really don't know why that's there. I'm gonna fix this. But I don't know, some things they should have focused on Minecraft more. Right. And hopefully the Netflix series is going to be better. I'm gonna watch that. It's animated too. It would be funny though if it was just like Alex and Steve's misadventures. See, that would work, because that's goofy and stupid. And I think the Minecraft movie could have worked better too if it was just misadventures of Steve and his dog. I'm not gonna name drop the dog, for spoilers, but that would have been cool, just having that, you know. It wouldn't have worked as it would work more as like a short, and that's one thing I've been thinking of. I think Minecraft could unironically work as like a little short film, a silent short film, where when I say silent, I mean there's no talking. It basically just like a little trailer, not a trailer. Like I'm talking about like 20 minutes, but it's animated in the same style as the trailers are, and we get to see like Steve go from a boy to a man. That kind of story, you know? Like, he has nothing, he's a loser, and then he, locks in, essentially. And, then they defeat the dragon. I think that would be cool. That's a very scuffed way of explaining it. If anybody wants me to explain that further in detail, please do tell. Pray tell upon myself. But, that's about it, man. I can't really think much more to talk about. I don't know how long this video is going to be. But, that's about what I'm thinking. To sum it all up, my friends, here's what we have. It lacked the movie itself from a Minecraft fan perspective, because if you didn't know, I like Minecraft. I've played it since like 2013. Oh, you're not original. I know. I wasn't. I don't know when it actually came out. No, it came out like, when did it come out? I don't know. But I'm not a computer original. My first time playing it was on Pocket Edition Lite. So no, I'm not. I didn't play on day one. I wasn't in the Minecraft forums. I wasn't there. I'm sorry, but I was there for Stampy and Dan TDM days. So I think I think I can qualify myself as someone who's an enjoyer of Minecraft, and I've spent over 2,000. I've spent over 5,000 hours throughout my life playing this. That's not high numbers. There's gonna be some guy. Oh, yeah, I spent 5,001. Oh my god, dude, you're not a fan of Minecraft. You don't even play Minecraft. Yeah, there's some fucker like that, man. Like, okay, you know what I mean. I like it. From a fan perspective, look. There was more Hollywoodization. Is that a word? I don't know if that's even a word, bro. But there was more of that, more basic story stuff, than there was Minecraft. Like, what I would like to see even is like this. Look, like it would have been cool just seeing Steve for a minute or two, just walk around, and like it'd be like this. Look, what is this? A tree? Hiya! Oh shoot. Okay, well, no, I have a mod on. I have a mod. I forgot I had that mod on. But you know, it would have just been cool seeing Steve discover stuff. You know, he has a boy to a man story. Essentially, he grows up. Not literally grows up, but you know what I mean. Like, he gets his skills. Basically, an RPG as a movie, essentially. So actually, yeah, that is it. Basically, make an RPG as a movie. That's a very hard thing to do when I say it like that, but you know, that would work. And I hope that Todd Howard makes a Skyrim movie. Except I think it could work as a TV show, because there's a lot of content. Or not Skyrim. I forgot the world that's taking place in. If there was one, though, I would like to see it in Cyrodiil. In all seriousness, I would like to see it there. Or it would be cool if it took place in like Morrowind or something. Or I don't know. How would that an Elder Scrolls film work? Because as the main bad guy, they could have a lot of choices, obviously, like a dragon or something. But I think it would be cool if it was... Or no, yeah, I think actually, yeah, when it comes to the Elder Scrolls, I think it could work as a TV show more, because you could have an arc where it's like an evil dragon. Then it's like an evil necromancer or something, and then the gates to Oblivion somehow open. I think that could actually work. You have 3 little arcs, 3 massive arcs, I mean, 1 hour each. There are 10 episodes each, 1 season each. Yeah, your first season will be about the dragon, and the second one will be some evil wizard dude who's summoning something, I don't know. I can't say the names, alright. And then the last one, for the best one, could be Oblivion, as essentially it. I think that could work, but I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, that might work. But and seeing for that, all they would really have to do is just copy the feel of the game, and that's the thing a lot of video game movies miss out on. They don't copy the feel. You gotta have a decent story, but then you also gotta copy the vibe of the game. You have to have the people who are making it have to know what the game is like. They have to be fans, or else you're gonna end up with Hollywood slop, corporate Hollywood slop. You have to have gamers. That's a very cringe thing to actually say, but you have to have people who play the video game to understand the video game. It's not that hard of a concept to think about, but I mean, it's facts. Prove me wrong, brother. That would be like me making a, I don't know, like a uh, uh, I don't know. I can't even think, bro. I'm exhausted. I don't know. I don't even know how long I've been talking. Talking for a while though, I'll tell you that. But enough with stupid Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. We don't need that. We don't need to talk about that. It's simple. It's demonic. There's witches. That's a joke. But overall, I give the movie critically like 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. If you want to get more specific, about 50 out of 100. Yeah, that would be fair. 50 out of 100. Yeah, now I see it like that. With friends, I give like an 80 out of 100. For the sole fact that it's just fun to make fun of it. If you have friends. Now, if you're going by yourself, it's gonna suck ass. Unless you have a funny audience reaction. But nobody's made it this far, so we're gonna wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna try to think if I can think of anything else. While I'm talking, I'm thinking. All I can really think about is just the lack of Minecraft. You know, it was Minecraft Legends, nonetheless. It wasn't Minecraft. It wasn't this Minecraft we know and love. I mean, I'm playing modded Minecraft, but you know, oh, ignore the fact that I have an AK-47 too. That's irrelevant. But yeah, it was. It's just Minecraft. It was Minecraft Legends, the movie. It wasn't Minecraft. It wasn't this Minecraft. And it was also an isekai, so L for that. Okay, oh, no, that's not really much of a problem. Isekais are alright, but, you know, I don't know. It was a movie. Shocker. Trying to expand this as long as I can, because I want to see how long this video is. I have no idea how long this is going to be, because we're going full unedited mode, and I want to see how long I can talk to myself. That's insane that I've been able to do this for so long, but it's been night, so I'd say it's been like an hour, has it? Wait, what time is it? Hold on, let me cook, ladies. Wait, come on, ladies, 1 pound fish. That's when you know my brain's cooked. It is, what time is it? It's 2:05 for me. I started this at like 1, so yeah, only an hour. Oh my god! Only an hour of talking, so that's not that bad. That's actually quite short. Me and my friend were talking for like 2 hours. But, yeah, Minecraft movie, pretty good. I can't complain. I'm very excited. I will say though, look, in general, I will say this year itself has probably been the best for moviegoers. Because, I mean, we got the Minecraft movie, which was a corny mess. Who doesn't love that? That's essentially just it described in one little sentence. We have Superman, which I'm hoping is going to be an actual good film. I have high expectations for Superman, so I might do a review for that. But I'm not taking that lightly. That's not going to be a funny hoo-ha. No. I didn't mean to take screenshots. Superman, I'm taking that very serious. I don't know which specific comics it's going to be based off of. I just know it's the origins, but okay, this is not about Superman. Then we got Five Nights at Freddy's 2, again, which I have high expectations. Because it has more of a plot. It'll have a plot to it, and it's FNAF 2, and I like FNAF 2 more than FNAF 1. And FNAF 2 is my favorite one, because I like the characters in it, and that's as far as it... No, I like the lore. You know, no, it's not as far as that. I like the lore of that, but that's Five Nights at Freddy's. That's nothing to do with this. What else are we getting this year? I don't actually know 100%. If anybody knows, please leave that in the comments below. I'm trying to think. What else movies are we getting this year? We have Minecraft. We have Five Nights at Freddy's. We have the new Superman, which I have no idea when that's coming out, but it should be coming out soon, I hope. I don't know. There has to be a few more. I don't know. There's a lot of content. Oh yeah, for video game wise, we have the new Doom coming out in May. I can't bring any spoilers on that, but I'm gonna be playing it. You feel me? I might be live streaming it or making a video on it or something. I don't know 100% yet, but I am going to be playing it. I know that for a fact. Uh, that'll be very fun indeed, my friends. And that's all we got. So I'm gonna leave it off on a high note. What's the high note? I can't. I can't tell you. I don't know, bro. I'm tired. This has been an exquisite, if I ever do say so myself, journey of the Minecraftian discussion forum board things. I'm probably gonna get cooked in the comments if anybody sees this for shitting on a movie that everybody loves. Look, I'm not shitting on it. It was funny. It did the thing that it was supposed to do, and it was supposed to be corny. There was also a "We Are Minecraft" moment. That's not a lie. So that already makes the movie a 10 out of 10. Adios. Whee! I'm not even gonna edit this part. Look at this. All right, bye bye.